Hi, I'm Matt Moorman. I'm a customer consultant for Teachers Curriculum Institute. Before becoming a customer consultant, I was a history teacher in an 8th grade classroom. I taught 8th grade American history to approximately 120 students each year. As an educator and history teacher, I thought it was important for me to find a variety of different teaching methods and teaching styles to reach the diverse needs and learning styles of my students. I was a big proponent of Howard Gardner's theories on multiple intelligences. I even went as far as educating my 8th grade students on Gardner's theories on multiple intelligences. At the beginning of the year, we would spend some time identifying those multiple intelligences, and then I would even give them a quiz that would allow them to figure out which type of learner they were. I thought it was very empowering for my students, for them to realize that they're not dumb just because they might not be doing so well in one class. Maybe they just aren't finding a way to connect with that content that coincides with their learning style. I knew I was getting through to my students when 3 instances happened my first year as an 8th grade history teacher in Plainwell Middle School. The first instance came after going outside and playing a game of Capture the Flag. It was a simulation that we were playing to help the students make a connection to the American Revolution. The learning goal was, of course, how was the weaker Continental Army able to defeat a much stronger, more equipped British Army? After going outside and playing the round of Capture the Flag, which, by the way, the Capture the Flag game is rigged with a series of rule changes that allows the weaker team to win. But after we played the game, we came back in, and it was important that we debriefed. The debrief allowed my students to make a connection to what happened really in history to what happened in our classroom experience. I'll never forget when a student raised his hand right in the middle of our debrief and said, "Hey," as if the light bulb had just gone on. That was bodily kinesthetic. And I just had to smile because I knew that he got it. He understood the type of learner that he was, and he was able to recognize and see the type of teaching strategy and lesson that we were doing in class. And he got it. He understood the content. A few months later that same year, during parent-teacher conferences, I was sitting across a table from a girl and her mother, and probably not the best report card you've ever seen. There was 1 A in history, a few C's, several D's, and an E in science. A disappointed mother looked at her daughter and said, in disbelief, "How could you be getting an E in science, yet you're getting an A in social studies?" And I just kind of slanked down in my chair and almost wanted to hide like this when the student looked up at her mother and said, "That teacher doesn't teach to my learning style." The third example I have for my teaching career, when I knew that I was getting through to my students and reaching their different learning styles, was when I got the ultimate feedback that any teacher can get. I received a birthday gift on my birthday. This is something that doesn't happen to teachers. I don't know too many teachers that the students find out when it's their birthday and pool their money together secretly to buy the teacher a gift. But throughout the year, one of the teaching strategies that I do for more visual learners was something from TCI called visual discovery. It's a way for students to touch and interpret and interact with powerful images that will allow to further discovery. It's a constructivist approach to teaching through images, visual literacy. One of the things that we'll do after we're dissecting and tearing apart an image is we like to step back into that image and kind of act it out. I'll have a few students come up in front of the picture, and I will act as a newspaper reporter and interview them. Questions. It's a fancier version of checking for understanding to make sure that we're getting it as we go along. So I played the time-traveling reporter, and my students, of course, stepped into the roles of historical figures from the time that we were studying. I, of course, needed to interview them and didn't have a microphone, so I would do what most teachers would do. I'd grab the closest thing nearby and I'd interview them with a screwdriver. 8th graders thought that was pretty corny and hokey and would not stand for it, so little did I know that they were secretly pooling money behind the scenes to get me a karaoke machine, something where I would have an actual real microphone that I could use to interview them in our visual discovery lessons. Now, a lot of teachers would think that that's pretty cool that the students actually pooled their resources to get a birthday present for me. But for me, the best part was it once again validated that the students really appreciated and were benefiting from the different types of teaching strategies that I was offering in the classroom. What they were saying to me when they bought me that gift was not that we love Mr. Moorman and he's a great teacher, we got to get him a present. What they were saying is we love the way he teaches us and we want to get him something, a tool that will improve and help him teach us that way.